All right, entrepreneurs, let's get right into it. Today, we are breaking down the single most powerful principle behind every, and I mean every, great success story. It's not just a good idea, and it's definitely not some vague wish. We're talking about the one thing that truly separates the achievers from the dreamers, a burning desire.
So let's kick things off with a story. This quote right here, it's about a man named Edwin C. Barnes. Now, Barnes shows up in Orange, New Jersey, looking to partner with the one and only Thomas Edison. He's got no money, he kind of looks like a drifter, but inside his head, well, that was a totally different story. See, the thing about Barnes is he didn't just hope to work with Edison. He didn't just wish he could get a meeting. No, he arrived with this all-consuming obsession, a desire that was so real he could feel it. This wasn't some new idea he had. This had been his single dominant purpose for a long, long time. And this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at the difference in mindset. The wishful thinker says, yeah, I'll give it a try. Barnes walked in and basically said, I'm here to go into business with you. He gave himself no way out. He was ready to burn every single bridge behind him, leaving no possibility of retreat. It was either win or perish.
And you know what? He meant it. For 5 long years, Barnes did the most menial jobs you can imagine in Edison's organization. He got no promises, no pats on the back, nothing to suggest he was getting any closer to his goal. To everybody else, he was just another guy. But in his own mind, he was Edison's partner every single minute of every single day.
So what is this burning desire we keep talking about? Well, it's a state of mind where you intentionally, deliberately cut off all sources of retreat. It's the opposite of having a backup plan. It's making your main plan the only plan.
Think about it like this. It's the mindset of that legendary warrior who landed his troops on an enemy's shore, faced an army that massively outnumbered them, and then gave the order to burn their own ships. He literally removed any chance of escape, creating a situation where winning was the only way to survive. And you know what? They won.
And this win or perish mentality isn't just for battlefields. Take Marshall Field after the Great Chicago Fire. His store was rubble, total ruin. Most other merchants just packed up and left, but Field, he looked at that pile of smoldering ash and didn't see an end. He saw a beginning. His desire to rebuild was hotter than the fire that destroyed his business. So here's the bottom line, and this is crucial. Simply wishing for success, for your startup to take off, it's not going to bring you anything. But desiring it with a state of mind that becomes a complete obsession and then pouring that obsession into a solid plan, now that will get you results.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get practical. Let's dive into the actual framework for turning that burning desire into cold, hard cash. And this isn't just some motivational fluff. This is a 6-step method that guys like Andrew Carnegie and Thomas Edison lived by. These are the 6 definite, practical steps you've got to take to make this power work for you. So let's break them down one by one and see how they build into a real strategy for getting what you want. First things first, you have to be definite. And I mean razor sharp, definite. It is not good enough to say, I want to make a lot of money. You have to fix in your mind the exact amount. Is it $1 million? Is it 500,000? Name the number. There's a powerful psychological reason for this. It gives your subconscious mind a clear, unmistakable target to shoot for.
Okay, step 2. Let's get real about the value exchange. As entrepreneurs, you know this better than anyone. There's no such thing as something for nothing. So what amazing service, what game-changing product, what incredible idea are you going to give in return for that money? You have to define your value proposition with the exact same clarity. This is your side of the bargain.
All right, on to step 3. You have to give your goal a deadline. A goal without a date is just a dream, right? Putting a definite date on it forces you to think about a timeline, and it turns a vague wish into an urgent, measurable mission.
So now you've got your amount, you've got your value, and you've got your date. It's time to build the action plan. How exactly are you going to get there? And then, and this part is absolutely non-negotiable, you have to write it all down. A clear, simple statement with the amount, the deadline, what you'll give in return, and the plan. Putting it on paper makes it real. And finally, we come to the most critical part. Step 6. You have to read that written statement aloud, twice a day. Once right before you go to sleep, and once the moment you wake up. And as you read it, you have to see and feel and truly believe that you already have it. You've got to convince your own mind first, before you can ever convince the world.
But what happens when the obstacle in your way seems, well, physically impossible?
This next story is just a remarkable example of how a burning desire can actually outwit nature itself and prove that most limitations are just the ones we put on ourselves.
The author of the book, This All Comes From. He faced this question in the most personal way imaginable. His son was born without any physical sign of ears, and the doctors gave him the devastating news. The child would almost certainly be deaf and mute for his entire life.
So on one side, you have the doctor's expert opinion, a permanent, unchangeable limitation. But the father, in his own heart, made a totally different decision. He just refused to accept it. He formed a burning desire right then and there. My son will hear and he will speak. He decided that nature itself was not going to make him accept this so-called reality.
And he didn't just hope, he took action. He would tell his son bedtime stories all designed to build self-reliance and plant this crazy idea that his challenge was actually a unique advantage. He worked relentlessly to transplant his own burning desire into his son's mind, building the belief that this disability would one day be his greatest strength.
And that's exactly what happened. Through a wild series of events, all sparked by that unbreakable desire, the son eventually did gain his hearing through a new device. But more importantly, he turned his life's biggest challenge into his greatest asset, dedicating his career to helping thousands of other people with hearing loss.
This right here is the key takeaway for every single one of you. Your biggest challenges, your most painful setbacks, they are not just roadblocks. Hidden inside every single one of them is the seed of an equal or even greater opportunity. You just need the burning desire to find it and make it grow. So, how do you take all this and apply it to your business, to your life, to your own ambitions? Well, it really boils down to 4 core principles that you can start using like today. Okay, let's recap. Here's the playbook. Number 1, have a definite goal. Be specific. Number 2, fuel that goal with a white-hot burning desire. Number 3, build a clear step-by-step plan. And number 4, back that plan with a kind of persistence that simply does not understand the meaning of the word failure.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Life is a pretty just employer. It will give you precisely what you ask for, but you have to be the one to set your price first. So the only question left is, what wage have you set for yourself? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I'll see you in the next one.